Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unboxing a cannabis product, but maybe not in the way you think. We're not just looking at what's inside the box. Nope, we are going to unbox the entire process, deconstructing the incredibly complex journey it takes to get from an idea to a compliant product sitting on a shelf. So let's just dive right in. I mean, have you ever picked up a cannabis product, maybe something as simple as a bag of gummies, and just been blown away by the sheer amount of text on the label? It's like a tiny legal document wrapped around your purchase. So what gives? Why is it so complicated? Well, it's because every single one of those products is a promise of quality, a pretty big legal risk for the brand, and yeah, a binding document, all rolled into one. In this industry, which is so highly regulated, there is absolutely zero room for error. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna work backward. We'll start with that finished product you see on the shelf, that simple-looking item, and we're gonna peel back the layers to reveal all the complexity hidden inside. It's what we call the finished product paradox. First things first, let's nail down what we're even talking about. We're talking about consumer packaged goods, or CPGs, and this is not just the raw plant. It's the final, sealed, ready-to-scan item. You know, the eighth of flour in a jar, the vape cart in a box, the tincture with a little dropper. A CPG is the physical point where the science, the branding, and all the regulations crash into each other. All right, so let's peel back that very first layer, the label. You gotta think of it as the product's business card, its instruction manual, and its legal defense all at once. It is by far the most information-dense part of the entire package. And here's something most people don't even think about. There are actually two kinds of packaging. First, you've got primary packaging. That's what's directly touching the product. The Mylar bag, the glass jar. Its number one job is safety, keeping things fresh, and stopping any contamination. Then you have the secondary packaging, like the box it comes in. That's all about branding, protection, and you guessed it, holding all that compliance text. Both are totally critical. And look, make no mistake about it, the stakes here are incredibly high. That label isn't just for show, it is the brand's legal defense. If you miss a single, tiny, required detail, one wrong batch number, one missing allergen warning, the whole product line can be recalled. It's really that serious. And get this isn't even the full list, but it gives you an idea of the basics. Every single package needs the product name, the manufacturer's license number, a unique batch ID for traceability, precise THC and CBD percentages for both the serving and the total package, dates, warning symbols, allergen info, and that's just scratching the surface. Every detail has to be perfect. Okay, so we've looked at the outside. Now let's peel back another layer and talk about what's actually in the product. This is the science that all that data on the label is actually based on. So a typical cannabis product is made up of a few key things. You've got the active cannabinoids, of course, like THC and CBD, but then there are the base materials, like gelatin for gummies or MCT oil for tinctures. Sometimes you have functional ingredients like melatonin, and critically, you have potential allergens. All of these have to be tracked, accounted for, and declared. And when we talk about precision, I mean, it's absolute. When a label says a product has a certain percentage of THC, that's not just a guess. It has to match the lab's certificate of analysis, the COA, right down to the decimal point. This is all about scientific accuracy and consumer trust, not marketing spin. You know, the form of the product, whether it's flour, an edible, or a vape, that's directly tied to how it works and, more importantly, how safe it is. It dictates everything from how quickly it takes effect to its shelf life. This isn't just random info, it's critical consumer safety information that informs those expiration dates and storage instructions right there on the label. All right, so we've seen the package, we know what's inside. Now let's get to the final and honestly, the often unseen part of this whole journey, the assembly line. This is the place where all those pieces, the product, the packaging, the rules, they all have to come together perfectly. Now, assembly can look totally different depending on the scale of the operation. On one hand, you have manual assembly, which is for smaller boutique brands. We're talking literally hand-filling jars and sticking on labels one by one. On the other hand, you have automated assembly for high-volume products, with machines doing everything. But here's the key. The compliance rules are exactly the same for both. Okay, let me walk you through a classic and super costly mistake. A brand tries to save a little time by pre-printing thousands of boxes with one main batch ID. But the moment they break that large batch into smaller retail units, a process called sublotting, each of those new units gets its own unique ID. And just like that, all those pre-printed boxes are non-compliant. That unique ID is the whole backbone of the track and trace system, which is what protects public health. The fix? Slapping on an extra sticker, which just looks bad and creates waste. A seemingly smart shortcut turns into a total compliance nightmare. And all of this, it brings us right to the end, to the final, most critical stage, the final check. This is where we see why every single tiny detail we've just talked about matters so much. Before any product can even think about leaving the building, it has to pass this shelf readiness checklist. There's a weight check. Does it actually weigh what the label says? A smell check for anything off. A visual check. Is the label on straight? Is the package clean? And finally, a scan test. Does that barcode actually work and pull up the right data? Every single unit has to pass. Ultimately, it all boils down to this one simple but totally non-negotiable rule. If you wouldn't feel 100% confident handing that specific unit directly to a state regulator or your most important buyer, it does not leave the room, period. So there you have it. We've completely unboxed the process. The next time you see a cannabis product on a shelf, I want you to look a little closer at the label, the packaging, the seals. You'll see it's not just a product. It's a story of science, precision, and a really high-stakes compliance journey. So, what story is it telling you? Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.